Hi, welcome to Cork Meets Fork, match number 10. We're doing turkey wines, and this match is turkey wines meets turkey sides. So we're doing a couple of different turkey sides, something that's a little bit different, not your yams, not your stuffings, although that should be on your table, but just a few other things that are going to be kind of interesting and different. We're doing a cauliflower and a leek gratin, very creamy, lots of flavor, and then we're also doing a romaine salad with a Caesar salad dressing, some roasted red peppers, but we're actually grilling the hearts of romaine, so it's going to have that nice smoky flavor. And we've got some wines that'll work with certainly the turkey. We've got 3 wines we're going to taste today, but these wines will also work with those sides that we're going to be putting together for you later. But first of all, the calendar of events. You're getting this sent to you today. If you're checking it out later, Thursday the 18th of November is our holiday wine show. We've got a couple of spots left. Call the Hobnob 552-8008 if it's Thursday. Otherwise, if it's Friday, it's too late. But it's going to be a big event on the 18th. On Saturday, the 20th, we've got a wine tasting at Sassy B. Turkey is the theme again, and we're going to taste wines that'll go with your Thanksgiving dinner on Saturday at Sassy B in downtown Kenosha. And then also next week, we're not going to do a wine blog. We're going to skip match number 11 and do that in 2 weeks. Because of the holiday, it falls on Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be eating that day. So I will not be doing a wine blog for you. That is it. But now the wines today. We have 3 really interesting wines that are all great turkey matches. A Moscato d'Asti. This is the Grape Moscato from Piedmont in Italy in the town of Asti. To be called a Moscato d'Asti, the grapes actually have to be grown in or around the village or the city of Asti. And then we've got a very, very interesting Riesling, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later as we get to that. But this is a Riesling from Canada, of all places, the Niagara Peninsula. But it's a classic-styled Riesling from a German producer. And you're going to get a drier styled Riesling, but still has that viscosity and that richness of a Riesling. And then we're going to Bordeaux. The perfect turkey matches. It's well etched in stone. Is usually Riesling, and you can go sweet or you can go dry. And Pinot Noir is the red grape of choice. But when you go to France and you have their Cabernet and Merlot, and sometimes Cabernet Franc and Malbec in their Bordeaux mixes, those tend to be a little bit lighter than those Maritages that come out of California. And we've got a Bordeaux that's actually an American-style Bordeaux, but still has that Bordeaux lightness to a degree. It's not this big, huge whopper where it's actually going to match with the turkey. But first we're going to start with this Moscato from Asti, and this is from Albino Rocca, a producer in Italy that makes all of the Piedmontese wines. Great with the Nebbiolo grape. They make a Barolo, they make a Barbaresco, they make Barbera, Dolcetto. And this is the most popular wine that actually comes out of Piedmont, their Moscato d'Asti, and very popular for Wisconsinites and people in the States here. Tiny bubbles, this real ripe peach and pear quality fruit. The bubbles just counter the sweetness a little bit. But the beautiful thing about Moscato d'Asti, you're looking at wines that are generally going to be under 10% alcohol. This one tops off at 5% alcohol, so very low. This is like your morning cocktail. If you're starting an early Thanksgiving dinner, great way to start because you're not going to get that booze effect that early in the morning. But it's also just a great wine when your guests are arriving. You know, you don't want that bone dry white right off the bat. You don't want that real heavy red. But something light and refreshing like a Moscato d'Asti is just a great way to introduce your guests to wine and get the socialization going. And this wine is a little bit pricier for Moscato d'Asti. It's the Albino Rocca name that carries that weight. But this is online now. You can buy this today for $19 a bottle. It'll also be available this weekend at both Sassy B and at Grapes to Glass in Racine. But a really, really nice, light, refreshing Moscato d'Asti. And I can't stop drinking it. We're going to move on to the Riesling now. This Kanzelmann Riesling, interesting little story. German family from the Mosel in Germany, and they were making wine there. I want to say over 100 years. The family had been making wine there in the Mosel, and a real estate deal came up, and they decided to sell their land, but they weren't done in the wine business, so they shifted their focus, found something in Canada of all places, where the temperature was very similar. They found a very sandy soiled spot on the Niagara Peninsula, and brought some of their rootstock over and just kept going as if it never stopped, and are making these German-styled wines in Canada, and one of the finest producers in Canada that I've ever come across. There's some great ice wine producers up there, but as far as making classic German-styled wine, Kanzelmann hits it right on the head. And a couple of cool qualities that come out in this Riesling. Often you'll get that petrol aroma in a good Riesling. And that's like when you're pumping gas and you have that bad chemical smell, then you have that good kind of sweet smell. That's the petrol I'm talking about. And that petrol really comes out in the nose of this wine here too. And this is a drier styled Riesling. It's also an 07 vintage, which a good Riesling can age 10, 15. I've had 20-year-old Rieslings that were just awesome bottles of wine. And this is an 07. It smells just as fresh as if it was just bottled today. You definitely see the viscosity on the side of the glass. The legs are just dripping very slow. But in your mouth, you get this just luscious, just lays on the tongue, just kind of spreads out very slowly on the tongue. And a great tongue feel. Perfect. It's going to be perfect with turkey. And it's going to be actually great with this broccoli leek gratin that we've got coming up. But you get this green apple kind of a tart and sweetness up front. But not overly tart like some of those inexpensive Rieslings where it's just too much. It's really well balanced and just a really nice wine. The sweetness is like just a whisper of sweetness, and that dryness, that minerality kind of finishes the wine off. But a terrific Riesling from Kanzelmann. And this is a $15 bottle, which I think is the value of the day here. For $15, you're getting a real quality German-style Riesling, but made in Canada. And now for the red fans, we have to have something for you too. And here we have a Seychelles Bordeaux. This family is also the family that owns Palmer Estates, and that is out of Margaux, the most well-known Bordeaux producing region, and where the most expensive Bordeaux's come from in Bordeaux, France. And they've kind of done a little spin-off here. Which you'll often see some of these big Bordeaux producers will sell their grapes or their juice to other producers. Here they're keeping it in-house and creating this bigger-than-life Bordeaux. This is not like your typical minerally dry, real puckery style Bordeaux. It's a combo of Merlot and Cab, and it's more of an American style Bordeaux. It's just bigger. The color's even darker. Doesn't have that browning oxidation color that often happens with Bordeaux, and it's just big. It's a whopper. Very smooth. It's light in comparison to some California models, but it's more similar to a California-style Merlot Cab blend than it is to an actual Bordeaux-style blend. So it's kind of one of those in-betweeners. But with the turkey, with the cranberry sauce, I think this wine will work out very nicely. All right, as always, the fun part, the tasting of the dish. Here we have the cauliflower and leek gratin. We have the romaine with the roasted peppers, that little Caesar dressing, that quick Caesar dressing. And we're gonna taste first off the cauliflower gratin, and I'm gonna try that with the Moscato d'Asti. You're gonna have that sweet with the kind of real full flavors of the gratin. I want to tell you that cauliflower is so tender, but it still has a little bit of that snap to it. And this is the Moscato. Nice combo. Perfect little thing. I think the Riesling would go well with that too. A very good little combination. And you can go in any direction now with this salad here because you have the smokiness and the full flavors of the roasted peppers. And you get the crunchiness as you go in a little bit further here too. But just a really great looking salad and really easy. And this has been chilling for a while too, and that's perfectly okay. You really don't want to serve this hot. But we're going to try this with the Bordeaux. Still that nice crunch on the romaine. Very smoky. You really taste the grill there. And boy, it really turns the Bordeaux into a creamy tongue feel. Creamy mouthfeel there. Today, what we're going to do is do a little grilled romaine lettuce. And I'm going to show you how to chop that, grill that. And we're also going to do a cauliflower and leek gratin, which is just a nice little side dish that's going to add this creaminess and lots of flavor. But first, let's go right to this romaine. We have a full head of romaine, and if you've got a big group like we all do, what you want to do is probably get about 8 heads of romaine. Chop off the ends, and this can be discarded. Take off the very core. This has all been washed already too. And then if the leaves fall off, that is fine, and we're just going to half this right down the center. And this is what we're going to put on the grill. But first, we're going to hit this with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper. This is the flavoring for the romaine. So we've got the romaine. It's been sitting in the olive oil for a little bit. That olive oil is going to add flavor, and it's also going to help get those flames going a little bit too. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of that olive oil on there. And let that flame up, and you want to get the fat end of the romaine, char that a little bit. Thanksgiving is a holiday to embrace and enjoy food. Fatten yourself up, why not, and then take a break on Friday. But enjoy your holiday, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks as we do match number 11, Cork Meets Fork.